Son of a gun. Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown, and we're right along ringside all ready to kick it off for another big day.
Jerry the King Lawler, Memphis wrestling legend, winner of countless titles, legion of fans, and member of the WWE Hall of Fame. This is Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling. Coming to you, as you can probably hear, somebody's winning right here at Fitzgerald's Casino, Tunica, Mississippi, where luck lives. That's why you hear all these bells and whistles going on. People are hitting the jackpot left and right, as you will too when you come and visit us down here at Fitzgerald's. Now I'll tell you what, last week we had a great time. We featured one of the greatest tag teams in the history of Memphis Wrestling, the Rock and Roll Express, Robert Gibson and Ricky Morton. Well, this week, we're going to do them one better. We're going to feature the tag team that was maybe the most popular ever. Stan Lane and Steve Kern, the fabulous ones. Man, they had some battles against the Moondogs, which we may see here today. I mean, they battled everything. Put together by the fabulous Jackie Fargo. And I'll tell you what, you're going to love this show featuring the fabulous ones. Here we go.
Certainly good to be back on this TV again. It's been some times, and it's been nice out playing golf and doing a lot of things that I never got to do as a professional wrestler for 25, 30 years. Real exciting, boy, to get up in the mornings and knowing you don't have to jump on an airplane or jump in a car and go wrestle that night and jump in the car and drive back and drive another 800 miles the next day, or get in the airplane with your sore body and your mind really not straightened out yet. It's been real nice, but I talked with my buddy Eddie Marlin. I said, Ed, you know, them days fishing and golfing's about over. I'm watching wrestling on TV and get a little itchy. And that's what I done. I got real itchy. I looked up on my TV, and you know who I seen? The worst imitation that I have ever seen in my entire life. Let me tell you something, Hart Pally. You don't know what a fabulous Fargo is. You have no earthly idea. You bring two geeks, two guys that you picked up off the street, and you want to make them fabulous dolls from New York. You can forget that, Hart. Let me tell you something, pal. You're a joke, and they're a joke. What do you buy? A $2 bottle of dye? Put it on their hair and buy them a $25 tuxedo? Let me tell you something, Hart, you punk. And your two little guys from New York. I sweated many a gallon of blood and sweat to be a professional wrestler, and I'm damn proud of it. And there's only one fabulous Fargo from New York, Pally. That was me and Donnie. The pictures you see with the tuxedos, the hi-hats, the original fabulous Fargos, and a punk like you, Hart, you're going to come along and steal something that I built up all of my life, that I put my pride and my glory in, something that brought me fortune and fame, Hart. Well, you stink, boy. You stink. Now, I'm going to give you some good advice. I promised Eddie Marlin I wouldn't cuss and raise too much cane on his TV, but I can't help it. You stink, Hart. You're too synthetic. New York dolls. What a joke. Let me tell you something, pal. If there's going to be any fabulous ones around, if there's going to be any hi-hats around and tuxedos around, it's going to be first class, and it's going to be who I pick. Not who you pick, Hart. You stink. You stink. You got nothing about you, pal. $25 tuxedo. What a joke. My socks cost more than that, Pally. When I walked around with the top hat on, with the gloves and the sequins, they cost something, boy. They didn't cost 25 cents. You're disgusting. You're disgusting to me. To think what I've put in the wrestling business and you want to come along with this. Well, let me tell you something, Pally. I went out and got me a couple of guys. Tough. That's what you don't have, Hart. You got to be tough. You got to have a heart. You got to have a heart as big as a watermelon, not big as a peanut like you and them two geeks you got. Well, Pally, I got me two wrestlers, and I'm going to put the hi-hats, and I'm going to put the tuxedos on them. But you know what they can do that your boys can't do? They can fight. They're tough. And if you slap them, you know what they'll do to you? They'll slap the hell out of you. They're going to do that. You're not going to smack them upside the head and walk off and prance around. Time you get your fist back from their jaw, by God, you're going to have one upside of your head. That's the only way it's going to be with me, pal. I'm back. The fabulous Jackie Fargo's back. Not as a manager, as a consultant. I'm going to advise these two men. And when I say men, I'm talking about men. Tough, rugged, fighters. That'll kick your teeth in, Hart. You better not show up there. You better not show up in the arena with your boys with no tuxedos on and no hi-hats. You cannot go around imitating me, Pally. I will not give you permission to do that. You have no right, and you have the audacity of you. You little stinky stink. You stink. I got pride. I'm saying this to you right now. I am out of retirement. I want to fight. I want to feel. I want to touch. I want to beat. I want to claw and scratch and dig. That's what I'm known for, and that's what I'll die for. And I'm tough. Don't you forget that, Hart. And don't you boys forget it either. Trying to imitate the fabulous Fargos, you ain't got a chance. I got two of the greatest men that I've ever seen. They're the ones that's going to wear the tuxedos. They're going to wear the top hats. And yeah, they'll be doing the Fargo strut too, pal. And I'll be proud of them. I'll be proud to say, look at that. Look in the wrestling ring. Look. I look back 25 years ago. I see me and Donnie. They're going to get out there and they're going to give some people some hard times, pal. I'm not going to be running around like you, Hart, with a stick and my manager's hat and all that. I don't need it. But I'm going to be the advisor. I'm going to be the consultant. And I tell anybody, I don't care who it is, you must know this in the wrestling. As a professional wrestler, when you climb in that ring, you don't have friends. I don't care who they get in the ring with, or where, what city. If they ever do not take my advice, then I'll back away from them. But I think I've got the team that wants to be the fabulous ones again. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm telling you again, Hart, don't bring your boys with them little $25 suits on. That's all I got to say, Pally.
Up in a few minutes. Right now, the New York Dolls. You heard a lot of conversation about them. Yeah, by golly, here's an opportunity to see them live and direct with Jimmy Hart and the New York Dolls.
You know, I was sitting back there watching that, and I just thought if I heard the word Pally one more time, I think I would blow my brains out. Is that the only word in your vocabulary, Jackie Fargo? Well, I'll tell you what you need to do, baby. Why don't you take this quarter right here and call somebody who really cares if you come back into professional wrestling or not, Daddy, because I don't care. He's talking about imitators. He's talking about somebody duplicating. He's out there saying, Jimmy Hart, you stink. Jimmy Hart, you're a punk. You're right, Daddy. I'm a punk, and I am cute, and I am good-looking, and I am cocky. And you or nobody else is going to do anything about it. You understand that? I was in a restaurant eating yesterday, Russell. And this boy came up to me and he goes, "There's that punk Jimmy Hart. Boy, you're going to get run out of town now because Jackie Fargo is back." And I said, "Whoopee-doopie, Jackie Fargo, he is washed up, man." And the boy said, "Don't you talk about Jackie Fargo like that because he is a legend." And I said, "You know what a legend is?" And being stupid because he's from down south down here, the guy says, "No, I don't know what a legend is." Well, I said, "I'll tell you, baby. A legend is somebody from the past, and that's exactly what he is." Now, imitating, look at Steve Kern and Stan Lane when they left. I don't remember seeing beards on them. Do you, Russell?
Nope.
Tell it. You didn't see it. But you saw Jimmy Hart with a beard, and you saw the Dolls with beards. Why? Because Jimmy Hart is a leader. Jimmy Hart, baby, is on top of everything, man, and they are followers. So, like I said, Fargo, why don't you do me a favor, baby? Why don't you take this quarter and call somebody who really cares, baby, because we don't. One more thing. You can come down there, Jack, and you bring your spotlights. And you can come down there in a big limousine if you want to come down there in a limousine. And you can play all the music you want. Because when I was in the music business, all the groups that had the best equipment and had all the lights and all the clothes, there's the ones that couldn't sing and couldn't play, baby. And that's exactly. But we can play, baby. We can do it all. So you come down, baby. The Dolls are what's happening. We don't want you people behind us because we don't need anybody behind us. He talks about pictures. I've got pictures at home with blood running down my face, too. I've got doctor bills at home of my fractured jaw and fractured leg. So, Jackie Fargo, I've paid my dues, baby. I've paid my dues the hard way, too. But let me tell you, why don't you come down early, and why don't you drive all over this town around this area? Because all the places you used to go, Fargo, aren't there anymore. They're all fast food places now, baby, because times are changing. Like I said, this is 82, my year, not 1952. So call somebody, Fargo, who really cares.
Bad news travel like wildfire. Good news travel slow. Yeah, I'll call him old wildfire, 'cause everybody knows that he's bad news. Everywhere he goes.
Now back to Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.
This match to the expiration of time at a total of 448 pounds on the left of the screen. From Union City, Tennessee, Sweet Brown Sugar. And from Huntsville, Alabama, beautiful Bobby Eaton. And going against him at a total of 443, both from Florida, Steve Kern and Stan Lane, the fabulous ones. This match to the expiration of time, Jerry Calhoun will be the referee.
Okay, who will be starting out? It'll be Stan on the far side, and on this side, beautiful Bobby Eaton, and we are off and running.
Stan Lane against Bobby Eaton to get it going. Expiration of time, match time, beginning to run a little short here. We had hoped to have a lot more time for this one. But I'll tell you what, when you got these two tag teams in here, whatever time's available, you're going to see some fine wrestling action. Bobby Eaton with a headlock on Stan Lane. Bobby Eaton fired into the ropes. Uses the shoulder effectively coming off of there. Stan Lane lets him go by this time. Sets up, picks him up, and slams him. The fabulous ones. Stan Lane in the ring. Steve Kern out on the apron.
Big curses for these young people.
Steve Kern in there against Eaton. Bobby Eaton backs Kern into the corner. Eaton with a choke. Referee counting him. Eaton fired into the turnbuckles. Steve Kern. Oh, what a move.
Almost took him all the way out of the ring. He fired him so far across there, Dave.
Kern climbs back in there. Bobby Eaton stays in. He does not tag Sweet Brown Sugar. I thought that might be the better move for Eaton, is to make the tag at that point, but he stays in there. Both of them. After Kern, Stan Lane comes in to run Eaton back out of there. Brown Sugar pounding Kern with a right fist. Steve coming back with the feet and the fist. Into the knee. Not out here.
Hey, they didn't bring any belts out. Get out. Hart and the New York Dolls are going to try to strike the belts back, but Steve and Stan wisely didn't bring them out.
They're not out. Eaton and Sugar are going to be the losers of this fall disqualification, as the Dolls and Hart couldn't find the belts. They headed for the ring. It's 5 against 2. Eaton, Sugar, the New York Dolls, and Hart jump Lane and Kern. We got Terry Taylor, Bobby Fulton, Dutch Mantell, and there goes the first family.
Very funny.
There you fellas once now, baby! There you fellas once now! They don't look too fabulous now, do they, Russell? They don't look too fabulous!
Okay, Jimmy. Disqualification. First ball. Davey, we're going to have to check our time, and then we'll take time out right now. Let's check the time. We'll be back in just one moment.
Oh, I'm telling you, we're having a great time coming to you from beautiful Fitzgerald's Casino down here in Tunica, Mississippi, and we're having an even better time watching the fabulous ones in action. I'm telling you, Stan Lane, Steve Kern with Jackie Fargo put these two guys together. They set the wrestling world on its ear, I'm telling you. All over Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky. I mean, it was crazy. The crowds were insane. I'm telling you what, we're seeing a little bit more of that today, but right now we got to take a break. And my man, Tom Nunnery, standing by to play us to a break, Tom.
By golly, I'll tell you one thing. They're not new to the wrestling world. People have known them forever. They had their minds set on getting to the fabulous ones. Let's look. Steve Kern. Here are the Moondogs and Hart. They're out here ripping the coats up. Stan and Steve coming after them. The bout had just started. The Moondogs tearing the coats of the fabulous ones up. Now they're beating on them with those big bones. Steve busted down there. Stan Lane over in front of the desk. Yeah, why don't you get these animals out of here?
Nobody wants them now. Come on. You better call Jackie Fargo, boys. Come on.
The Moondogs just pounding. They've already opened Steve Kern up. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get them separated for his trouble. He got belted. They're ripping away on the coat. Stan Lane's head busted up. As Steve trying to fight his way back out, but they're getting clobbered. Here comes Bobby Fulton. Robert Reed. Jimmy Hart and the what do you say, Ray? Down there? Well, we really didn't expect a whole lot else from this. before the bell ever sounded. Finally, the referee just said, ring it, let's get this thing going. AWA Southern Tag Championship match. The Moondogs against the Rugged Fabulous Ones. The Moondogs represented a determined challenge before they ever got in the ring. But then, following an incident where the Moondogs tore up the Fabulous Ones' coach, banged them on the head with those big dinosaur bones they got, split the head, blacked the eye of both Stan and Steve. Stan Lane and Steve Kern, not used to being treated like that. They are really sitting on double ready and have let it out from the minute they hit that ring. Steve Kern pops the Moondog's head down on the knee of Stan Lane, and there's a tag on Stanley. Stan Lane with that back kick. Look at Kern flying across the ring, pumps the other Moondog down, but he gets up, puts a knee in Stan's back. Talking to Stan and Steve prior to the bout, they said the hardest thing about it, the black eyes and the cuts hurt, but explaining to Jackie Fargo and apologizing to him how the coach that the Fargos had worn had gotten torn up. That was the hardest thing about it. Stan whipped into the corner, the bigger of the two Moondogs. These are large gentlemen, I'll tell you. Moondogs don't have so much height. They're big, okay, but they are really solid. They got a lot of weight. They don't have anywhere near the symmetrical bodies that Stan and Steve do, but they outweigh them considerably. Stan Lane trapped in the ring. Jimmy Hart saying, get him, get him, get him. Fired up high on a backdrop. And they're going after that back, too. Southern Tag titles on the line. But Stan on a rope. Steve hollering. He's way out of his corner. Now drifts back down the line as Stan Lane trying to fight back. He's double teamed, though, by the Moondog. Ooh. Steve pitches him off of there after a reverse neck breaker on Stan Lane. Pitches the Moondog off. They trade partners. One in, one out. Sunset flip. Stan Lane. Couldn't get any more than a 1 count on him. We're coming up on the 5-minute mark. Another 30 seconds. In the corner while the bigger of the two Moondogs plants a knee in the midsection. There's the 5-minute call. 55 to wrestle. Moondogs still working on Stan Lane, and Stan now trying to kick back, fight off those ropes. He's a long way away from Steve Kern. They have heavy punished him, and there's an atomic knee drop. Stan underneath the ropes. The count would not have gone to 3 anyhow. Steve Kern didn't take any chances. He just put a foot in the side into that little business. And once again, Kern comes in to help his partner out. Stan's been in there too long with the punishing effect these Moondogs can have on you. Lane slammed hard in the jaw, shoots a right to the midsection, but he can't stop the big Moondog. He hasn't. Well, he gets double teamed for his effort, and the referee trying to break him up. They missed the double clothesline. Stan jumped right over the top of the clothesline, almost took both arms right out of the socket. Steve saying, get up, get up, get up, Stan. Stan pegs Steve Kern. The muscle man out of Tampa, Florida comes in like a whirlwind. He has really been waiting for his shot at him. Stan Lane was just headbutted right off the ring apron. Steve's in there with both of them and doing very well, thank you. Slams their heads together. Southern Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Kern and Lane, the fabulous ones, defending against the rugged Moondogs of Jimmy Hart. I see a bone in the other Moondog's hand. He's coming around after Stan Lane, and he bangs Lane in the head. Here comes Hart up. Lane pounding away. Look out from behind, Steve. Make that Kern. I said Lane. Kern pounding away. And for his troubles, he just got ripped with that huge bone. One of the ones the Moondogs carry, count of 1, 2, and that's going to be at 3. In 8 minutes, 35 seconds, we have new Southern Tag Champions. Jimmy Hart's Moondogs take over the title as they double team Steve Kern after having put Stan Lane out of the way with that big soup bone. So the new Southern Tag Champs, the Moondogs of the First Family, stand back in there with Steve. Steve laid out down there on the canvas. He was really slaughtered with that bone. Stan was hit on the outside of the ring. And the fabulous ones, with all the fury they had going against the Moondogs, fell victim to a little double-team chicanery by the Moondogs, who become the new Southern Tag Champions. Time on the count. Hart strolling around with that dumb-looking helmet on and Moondogs on the front of it. Robert Reed taking a severe pounding in there from Moondogs. Big suplex. That's the probably most authentic wrestling move we have seen. He wouldn't pin him, though, and Calhoun talking to him. He lifted him up in the air right at the count of 2. And Reed takes it again as he has doubled off the knee of the big Moondog, 2-3, and that's going to be it. No contest as the Moondogs were much too much for the team of Carson and Robert Reed. And they did the job in relatively short order.
2 minutes, 6 seconds was the time.
Whoa, look at here.
$1,000 fine right there, hitting the ring. $1,000 fine right there.
Match was
They'll be
over.
fined. They won't be fined because you know why? They're Eddie Martin's favorites. That's why.
Fabulous Ones come into the ring right at the end of the massacre of Robert Reed and Craig Carson when the Moondogs were pounding on them. And they got the 1, 2, 3 count as Dave gave you the time in a little over 2 minutes. But the Fabs were not the same guys that they were facing in there. So you did a good number in running them out of here, Stan.
You know, I can't believe how naive and ignorant Steve and I were for the past few weeks. You know, we've been fighting these guys tooth and nail. I'm talking, you know, chains. I'm talking sergeants fleeing tick powder. I'm talking chairs outside the ring. And you know what? I realized the other night, I said, you know, I think this is crazy. I looked at the guy right in the eyes, and I went, bad dog. And when I did that, he went, We never realized, Lance, we didn't know for a second that these guys were voice command trained. So from now on, baby, it's going to be a different story. We're going to say heel. We're going to say roll over and play dead. We're going to say get the H out of Memphis because we're sick and tired of these guys. Tell me about the Ocean Wells. Oh, my God. You know, I don't know if you realize this, but, you know, we get in the ring with these guys. We lock up with them. It's milk-bone dog breath. It's horrible. We stand in the corner and look at them. They got those Orson Welles designer jeans on. They look horrible. The guys are really getting on our nerves, Lance. We're going to put a stop to it once and for all. It's going to be all over, baby. It's going to be pack the dog bones up, pack the chains up, pack your little dog house up, and leave, brother, because the Fabulous Ones are here to stay, not to play, baby.
I can tell you one thing. You were talking about a couple of guys who can back up every nickel's worth of what they say. Underway with all four in there is now kind of settled down to where just two of the representatives, the bigger of the two Moondogs, is in there with Steve Kern, one of the most brutal of all of the matches. This is a stretcher match, guaranteed to be somebody hurt in this because the match does not end until someone is hurt enough to be carried to the hospital. Stan Lane just did a little springboard off the midsection of the big Moondog. And he follows right up with a big elbow, and again and again. Randy, I'm expecting anything and everything in this kind of a situation where anything goes, and it has to go until one person is put in a position they have to be carried out of here.
Lance, it's the first time that I've had the opportunity to see a stretcher match. I know how vicious it can be because it continues to one of them carried out on that stretcher. It's Steve Kern sending the biggest of the Moondogs into the turnbuckle, and he is really pounding at him. No love lost at all with the Moondogs and the Fabulous Ones. Steve Kern picks the big one up, slams him down in a body slam, and over to the corner and a tag on Stan Lane. We're about 2 minutes into this one. It will continue to the finish. And now Stan Lane goes after the other Moondog, picks him up, dumps him down to the canvas. Lane picks him up by the hair and fires him into the ropes and puts him down, clothesline. Moondog is in trouble as the Fabulous Ones got together, I'm sure, with Jackie Fargo. And you can imagine what kind of stuff that the Fabulous One had to say. Side headlock by Stan Lane. Stan has a chain, brought it out, and there goes the chain. They collide and the chain goes flying. What a wild one, Lance.
Randy, I think that was an Olympic record for chains flying. That thing went about 30 feet over our heads and about 14 rows back. Stan Lane, Steve Kern, now right in the middle of the action with the Moondogs, and Stan has been busted open by that vicious bone while the referee was over with Steve, and the biggest of the Moondogs, the other one, nails Stan, and Stan trying to get to the corner is shortstopped by a big right hand. And boy, I'll tell you, they are busting away on Stan Lane. They're planning on putting him on the stretcher right now. Here comes partner Steve Kern. He takes one swinging shot at the big Moondog. But Stan, his head draped over the rope, being choked. The referee finally backs up the big Moondog. Here comes Steve around to help his partner out. Stan being thrown out over the top rope in this anything goes Southern Tag Championship match. Stan, who was busted open, pounded around, he is down out on the floor, and Steve Kern really came to his aid. This has been on several occasions. Uh-oh, there comes the big Moondog, and Steve nails him. Stan staggering around is caught at ringside again. While Steve is working on the big guy, the other one just burying Stan Lane under the ring. Stan, blood all over his face, climbs back from under the ring into the ring. Referee can't stop it, though. It goes until somebody's carried out of here on a stretcher. Look at that Lane fight back. Bloodied but not bowed is what the expression is, and that's the way Stan is. Jimmy Hart blowing that whistle like a madman, pointing his finger at Lane as he's really trying to keep the Moondogs at a fever pitch against the rugged team of Lane and Kern, the Fabulous Ones. Steve again comes in to help his partner. The referee runs him out. The Moondogs make a clean tag. Lane blistering two rights, but he's a long way from the corner. Stan now firing away. caught a couple of awfully good shots on the Moondog, but he was in the process of going for that big round kick, as now he blocks with his knees and catches the big guy and rolls him over. Stan was too close for the round kick, and the Moondogs got him back down, but he's still battling. And Lane goes underneath the big Moondog as Hart frantically saying, "Get him, get him, get him, don't let him out." There's a tag on Kern. We're 7.5 minutes into the action, and Steve Kern, who really has been waiting to get in there, going at it. Dumped over the top rope, pulls the big Moondog with him, and Steve Kern busting the stew out of the other one. Two of them on the floor, two in the ring. And now Stan Lane, and the only one that's bloody is the Moondog, has his eye busted wide open. Still banging away, and now goes after Jimmy Hart. Grabs him by the coat. Or Steve, rather. It's Stan Lane. We were looking for him, and he's down. Uh-oh. Steve is caught. He's hung between the top two ropes. Kern being helped now by Stan Lane, who is bloody, but doing everything he can to help his partner. Uh-oh, he's thrown out again. And Steve being choked in the top two ropes. The referee powerless to stop the match. Stan Lane saying ring the bell, but the referee says ring it. Here comes Stan with a chair. Ringing that chair, trying to free his partner. And Steve, who was hung in between the two top ropes, Stan realizes a desperate situation, doing his best. The bell was sounded at 9 minutes and 28 seconds, and Steve is free. He fell right to the concrete. Oh, boy, stand down to see what's the situation with him. The referee says no. Steve Kern could not continue in the opinion of the referee, and Eddie Marlin comes down. We're going to have to get an explanation on it. The referee has declared the Moondogs the winners, and the belts are in the hands of Jimmy Hart and the two Moondogs. They're still after Steve Kern, stand with that chair trying to ward him off. Promoter Eddie Marlin was down here at ringside. And Stan swinging in that chair. He's going to protect his partner. Steve Kern still down on the floor. Here comes Steve O, Terry Taylor, and Carl Fergie. Kern held for at least 2.5 minutes by his neck from the top 2 ropes as they got him in, twisted between those 2 ropes. 9 minutes, 28 seconds, and the Moondogs are the new Southern Tag Champions as they're getting the stretcher out here to haul Steve Kern out of here. Boy, we haven't seen Steve since he was dropped out of those ropes onto the concrete floor. The Moondogs still trying to get at him. But Stan Lane has done a beautiful job of battling the both of them. Steve O, Carl Fergie, Terry Taylor, promoter Eddie Marlin. They're trying to get Steve up onto the stretcher. But be very careful of his neck. And now here they come. With the stretcher there, the Moondogs got down to ringside, dumped Steve Kern off, and Stan Lane, infuriated, battling away. Stan picks up the big bell, and he was going to crush that big Moondog. Steve Kern was dumped off of the stretcher, and the Moondogs now with a belt in their possession as Hart continues to war hoop and blow that whistle.
Oh, I'm telling you, what a great show this has been. Stan Lane, Steve Kern, Jackie Fargo, the Fabulous Ones, one of the greatest tag teams ever in Memphis, Tennessee. And once again, we're coming to you live and direct from beautiful Fitzgerald's Casino right down here in Tunica, Mississippi. You need to come on down and visit us because we tape our show right here every single week. Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling. Hey, Tom, we're out of time. Play us out here, buddy.
He beat the Idol, showed the Duke, and how to race. Carl Fruit, he beat Jack Briscoe, and Terry Funk. He beat the Giants and the Midgets and the Punks. He's a rocker and a roller, fighter and a lover and a king. He's the world's greatest wrestler. He's the best who's ever seen. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching Jerry Lawler's Classic Memphis Wrestling.